Yeah, I heard word around town is a poppin' off.
Yo, it's lit, man. It's the hit, man. I hope you guys are doing all right. I want to talk about Dragon Ball Heroes. So it's Saturday when I'm recording this. I know I'm not, YouTubers aren't supposed to timestamp, but I keep it a buck with you guys. I need the schedule to make sense from what I'm explaining. So it's Saturday for me, and tomorrow, about 28-ish hours from when I'm recording this, probably 26 from when I upload it, we are going to get Dragon Ball Heroes news. And according to, I believe it was Air Dokkan. I probably should have that pulled up, shouldn't I? You know what? We're gonna pull it up now. According to Air Dokkan, he clearly stated, like, yo, this is going to relate back to Dokkan. It's not even really a debatable. Like, he was telling us for a fact, this is going to relate back to Dokkan. So we have to keep our eyes on whatever's coming, because the next, whatever we get that's going to be related to the next hero celebration, I'm extremely hyped. See, there he is. Okay, so there are only 2 days left until the next Super Dragon Ball Heroes cards reveal coming to Dokkan Battle. And that's not even the tweet that I was referring to. He actually had another tweet, but that's just to make sure everything is going to make sense. So I want to talk about what I think could be coming, or at least what I fully expect to come. Maybe not think will come, but first things first, this is the crossover category. It was actually a really good category when it came out, like on paper, and then like a month later we were like, it's not working. The reason that is, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta was hype. It had good units. The grade 8 category, because Giant Ape had just gotten a leader through Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and they were a good duo. We were like, oh, okay, everything came together pretty quickly. Like, it only took them a month to make this all make sense for the Giant Ape category, and then it just fell off drastically. So oh, and they did the Xenoverse Awakenings, which were really important for a category like this. I don't think they'll do something like that again within the next couple of weeks. I don't know that they need to right now. However, if they were gonna do it, please, man, where is he? This Super Saiyan 2 Trunks, this guy means a lot to some of us, and he just won't get an awakening for some reason. They hate the kid. I'm not sure why, but he can get an awakening out of like random units that are on the crossover category that don't have meaningful like awakenings that deserve them. I guess the Super Saiyan 3 Vegetas actually wouldn't be a bad decision. There's the normal Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, and then there's the GT one. That wouldn't be a bad idea at all. So that's 3 units right there. They can awaken just if they feel like it, but that's up to them, man. It is what it is. Now, actual Dragon Ball Heroes SSRs that should be awakening. Let's start off with this Vegeta, and where's Goku? Please don't be difficult. There it is. Vegeta and Goku. I do have the Vegeta, I don't have the Goku. If they were to awaken, I'd summon on the banner, and so I at least had Goku. I actually would take it that seriously. I expect them to be phenomenal banner units, and you see like Vegeta family support, Goku family support. Weird thing about them, Vegeta actually is really, really good for long event, for an SSR. For an SSR, he's actually really good for long events. He can get 200k defense. He can push 230. I mean, it's kind of a reach now, but he can, as a legitimate floating option if you're taking your time through the event. I don't know about the like legendary GT event or the Evolution Blue event, but through the normal Fighting Legend event, he actually does very well. Infinite Dragon Ball history, up and down, because the difficulty level can vary heavily, so I'm not too sure about that one. But he can awaken, Goku can awaken. Hopefully they awaken in a Super Saiyan Zeno Goku and Super Saiyan Zeno Vegeta, so they have different names. And these cards, even though they're already irrelevant, at least they would have a different name. As many options as you can have. And even if they don't awaken into just Super Saiyans, they need to, I don't know what they're holding back for, but they need to drop Super Saiyan 4 Goku Zeno and Vegeta Zeno. I don't know what that's about, but speaking of the Goku and Vegeta and their Super Saiyan 4 states, they also should lean into, I thought we were going to do this last year, and they chose not to. They chose to just do base form Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, which was pure hype. Like, don't get me wrong, I was all for Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. He just aged really fast. Like, it was like, oh, he's almost a Dokkan Fest, and then he reminded us he's simply a banner unit. Like, he was a pseudo Dokkan Fest, and then he reminded us like he's just a banner unit technically, and it just spiraled downhill, and he's verging on irrelevant, if I'm gonna be honest. And it's not like lack of teams or something like that. It's weird because he has a lot. It's just his defense is not phenomenal. His attack isn't stunning, and then the two categories he supports, one of them is basically, well, really both of them are dead, but at least one of them only gets buffed once a year, so he'll come back. Don't get me wrong, once crossover gets more buffed, we'll use him again, especially because he's the leader and his 3 key 170, so a great leader skill. And then giant 8 power is like like on the verge of nobody cares about that team. Now, besides, I do not expect the Super Saiyan 4 Bardock and Gohan to awaken this year. I think they're gonna awaken next year. However, I'm all for an awakening. Don't get me wrong. If they awaken, I'll have absolutely no gripes. Especially because banner units right now in Dokkan are in a great place. I mean, people don't like the Super Saiyan Int Kabe. I think he's good. He's not a top 5 banner unit, but like he's really good. I think people are overdoing the hatred. It's a bit OD, but I mean, there are worse banner, like Tech Goten is trash, Tech Piccolo is trash, the 2 anniversary TURs, the Gohan and Frieza, and then Gohan and Piccolo, they're trash. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's really a lot of trash units that drop for this whole year. Like, well, not a lot, excuse me. There's a couple of banner units that dropped that were misses, but a lot of them were really good. This is the best year for banner units I've ever seen in Dokkan, and Dokkan Fest for that matter. However, it might be the worst year for summonable yellow coin LRs, because they've missed on a lot of them. It's odd. It's really odd. But yeah, I don't think they're awakening. Now, other units, I think can come. We do this one every year for real. Super Saiyan God Trunks. Now, Trunks would be on a lot of teams. Hybrid Saiyan, Vegeta family, Time Travelers, Realm of Gods. Shoot, let's go through it actually. Let's see. Trunks. I want to do Trunks. Where is he? Let's do this Trunks for starters. How about that? I feel like that's the closest Trunks I could find. There it is. Hybrid Saiyans, he will be on Realm of Gods, Time Travelers, Vegeta's family, probably Bond of Master and Disciple, of course, Dragon Ball Heroes, Battle of Wits, and Crossover. And I'm probably missing a category or two that I didn't even think of off the top of my head. Another unit. He's the one I want to be the villain unit. Like last year's Broly, he started off great. You know, he was actually one of the hardest hitting TURs if you had his circumstances filled out. And I never was impressed with him. He was one of the main units when I'm like, yo, this thing of being overly dependent on having to super attack in slot 1 or slot 2 or 3. Being overly dependent on it is an issue. Like Broly's defense is atrocious, and then it just becomes average once he super attacks. I hated that. The villain unit this year, even though I don't expect it to be a Dokkan Fest, in place of Broly and of course a higher caliber of unit, I want it to be Hearts. I don't know what Hearts categories would be because I'm not too versed in heroes, so I don't really get into that realm of the universe, like Dragon Ball, I don't know, plot, I guess, like you get what I'm saying, the universe. However, I think Hearts would be good. He'd be a good little spin for villains if he's a really good villain. I would assume he'd have a good villain link set, but I know Hearts like fights with Goku. He kind of is like an anti-hero, if anything, for Dragon Ball right now, but when he first came out, he was just a villain. So I'm all for Hearts, whatever segment they choose to go for. And then beside this one would be this one would drive people nuts. People would lose it if they had this. But this Gogeta right here that goes Evolution Blue. He is gorgeous. I just want to say that. He's just fire. Look at the aura. Like, damn, cuz people will go nuts over that. However, that thing he does with like the canceling out the Kamehameha, the animation would be fire, but it just doesn't make sense to me, man. I'm gonna be honest, it just doesn't make sense to me. Now we go over the celebration, and then I'm gonna wrap this up in like a couple of minutes. We go over the celebration, of course, the standard stuff, login bonus, missions. The present campaign didn't really matter for global, at least, so I don't really care for that. And then, of course, the summons, they did have a normal stone sale. The new Dokkan event for Vegeta, I do expect there to be another Dokkan event, whether it be, like I said, Evolution Blue Vegeta, or maybe Hearts would be the actual Dokkan pseudo Dokkan Fest. It would be like that, if you get what I'm saying. This event was atrocious. I mean, it literally didn't, like, the free-to-play unit was trash. It didn't have an absurd amount of stages, which I don't expect it to this year either. But the free-to-play unit, this Demon God Salsa, garbage. It was garbage. This Protect the History Time Patrol event hasn't returned, I don't think, since it left last year. I do think it'll return. They'll probably give it a new stage, which I'm all for. It's basically Infinite Dragon Ball history, so I'm all for that. And then the 2 old story events came back. No one really cared for that. Even though the STR Cumber used to be a decent free-to-play Pure Saiyan before everything for free-to-play units got out of hand. So I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys were entertained. I was just giving my thoughts, spilling out my thoughts before we get the info. Of course, I may cover it late. Like if it comes out in the middle of the night, I'll probably have to cover it that next morning. However, of course, with anything major in Dokkan, like super major, I'm gonna cover it. So whatever the Dragon Ball Heroes cards are revealed to be, if it's certified, like, oh, that's what's coming to Dokkan, I'm gonna be all over it. So trust me, you guys will see me within a couple of hours. Hope you guys consider liking, subscribing. I appreciated your time. Hitman is out.